You do, flight crew, FTC, flight team stand up. It's October, no need to stay sober. We got the man Jimmy High Roller. He can't keep getting away with this. Let's check it out. Look at Curry, man. How did I know it was gonna be Curry? What are they talking about? Oh, I have a feeling. They was talking about these 3-point fouls that was happening this year. I think I have a feeling he might be talking about that. But realistically, that's a foul. I wonder if he is going to be talking about it though.
This is Stephen Curry giving his best attempt at a 4-point play.
This is a foul.
When you hit the 3 and draw a foul in the process.
Oh, man.
These 4-point plays happen very, very rarely.
That's a foul, though.
He has 43 of them in his entire career. Unfortunately, Steph didn't sink this 3 or draw the foul, and he's not happy about it. NBA refs have notoriously called this a foul for the last half-decade.
Exactly.
This move has become a part of Steph's bag at this point.
Curry,
but you have to find a new method.
NBA season's so close, man.
This past offseason, the NBA...
We're ready for the uploads! I don't think y'all ready. Hold up. I don't think y'all ready for the uploads of the 2021-2022. 2022 is going to be something special for FTC, man. Another 2020 on steroids times 2. Remember that.
Use flops as fouls, a decision that has a seemingly unanimous approval rating from NBA fans. On the other hand, a lot of players aren't so happy about the change. In the 2000-2001 NBA season, the league began to keep track of 3-point shooting fouls. In that first season, Kobe Bryant drew 4 3-point shooting fouls.
That's clean.
Allen Iverson drew 5.
Iverson.
In fact, the entire league as a whole drew 196 3-point shooting fouls throughout the entire season. During the 2020-2021 NBA season, the league drew 1,000 and...
Damn! But, I mean, respectfully, you blame the players in this generation. Y'all want to jump like fucking animals and cheetahs and lions and shit. Like, stop fouling. Like, if you don't notice that whenever you're shooting a 3, half of these niggas literally close out on you and don't give you no space. You were never allowed to do that. Like, these players in this generation, I've been saying this, like, these players in this generation, first of all, are less athletic and less talented, and 2, they are too much of tryhards, bro. Like, you always were supposed to make and let somebody land, bro. Like, nobody believes in letting someone, the jump shooter land anymore. That's their problem.
And 91. This is a problem.
No, yeah, it's a problem for the defenders.
Well, since the league began to keep track of this stat just over 2 decades ago, these are the career leaders in 3-point shooting fouls drawn. Anything over 100 is, believe it or not, quite a bit. Only a handful of players in 20 seasons have reached this milestone. Dirk Nowitzki is the only big man you'll find.
Terrence Ross?
At 142 3-point shooting fouls drawn is Kobe Bryant. Then you'll find Kevin Durant,
Look at Curry,
Steph,
man.
Lillard, and at the top, 2 of the craftiest players to ever play the game.
Jamal Crawford.
And Lou Williams, with 2
Lou Williams is a casual. Don't nobody watches
fouls
this,
drawn.
Don't nobody watches man
And
play.
then there's James Harden with a 3-point shooting foul.
I don't know. Nobody owns Lou Williams jersey. James Harden at 500, bro.
This is absurd. If there's any stat that shows Harden's ability to manipulate the game, this is it. You want to hear a statistic?
How does Lewis Williams have 243s fouled, bro?
Played
Fake
16
stats.
NBA seasons while this stat was being tracked. And in that time span, he drew 142 3-point shooting fouls.
Wow.
142 in 16 seasons. James Harden drew 124 3-point shooting fouls in 1 season. Do y'all see this? I think I'm gonna be sick. And the most obvious reason why James Harden was able to accomplish this feat is because of his patented step back, a move that is literally unguardable. When he makes this move, his defender either sits back and gets a half-ass hand up while James Harden triple jumps his way to the 3-point line, or the defender closes out hard and collides with Harden in midair. About 90% of the time, these...
See, look at these school threats, bro. Look how hard they're closing out on him, bro. These are the players in his generation I be telling y'all about. You don't ever was supposed to close out on somebody like that. I know we've seen that highlight like 500 times, but the 501st time, you see more things different.
The league has beat around the bush and simply said if the defender collides with the shooter and the contact is initiated by the offense, it's no longer a shooting foul.
That's whack.
And although this isn't going to exactly fix the problem, it's definitely a step in the right direction. In the 2000-2001 NBA season, these were the league leaders in 3-point shooting fouls drawn. Dirk Nowitzki surprisingly leading the league with 26.
Dirk!
More than double the next highest total. And here are the top 3-point shooting fouls drawn in the 2019-2020 NBA season. To say that this is getting out of hand would be a vicious understatement. And you may be thinking, NBA players are only drawing more three-point shooting fouls simply because they're shooting more three-pointers. But when the stat was first tracked in 2000, the top foul drawers in the NBA had a three-point shooting foul rate of 3.97%, meaning that 3.9% of the threes they attempted resulted in a shooting foul. This past season, the top foul drawers had a three-point shooting foul rate of 8.5%, drawing three-point shooting fouls at more than double the rate as the generation of players before them. Not only are current players taking far more threes, they're getting to the line much more often from these threes. Trae Young has perfected the opposite of James Harden's move. Instead of stepping back and drawing the player inside, he gets inside of the defense and draws contact by coming to a screeching halt in the middle of his drive.
You mean backs it up on a defender? My man Jimmy Howard doing everything he can to defend Trae. Shout out to Trae Young, but bro.
But no one
he literally goes in and then backs it up on a defender.
This summer's Olympics, Team USA had trouble adjusting to the more physical FIBA rules, trying to draw phantom calls and being utterly flabbergasted when they didn't get them. And this may have inspired the NBA to follow through with this rule change this upcoming season. Because when players can do this, the game completely changes.
That's whack. That's not, see that right there is whack.
Last season where James Harden missed a large portion of games, Harden has led the league in three-point shooting fouls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the last 8 seasons. Sorry. I just can't stop staring at it. I mean, look at it.
What do you mean breathe?
124.
Breathe? Don't tell me to breathe. I can't be. Yo, bring me a shot.
And when you break the numbers down specifically over this 5-season span, that's 407 three-point shooting fouls drawn in 381 games. Which means that at the rate that Harden converts on these threes and his free throw percentage, these three-point shooting fouls account for an extra 3.1 points per game. Which may not sound like much, but over the course of 5 seasons adds up to a whopping 1,181 points. Which means that 10% of all the points that James Harden has scored throughout that 5-season span came from three-point shooting fouls. Now, I'm not saying all of these shooting fouls came from phantom calls, but the vast majority of them did. And this only factors in three-point shooting fouls. We haven't even touched on this same tactic for mid-range jump shots and floaters. And honestly, as much as this
look at Clarkson trying to be like Curry.
Point totals these players produce,
see, like, and a CP3 is a grown-ass man flopping. I don't like that shit.
Can't defend without being scared of drawing unnecessary fouls. Players on offense can do just about anything they want.
Oh my gosh, I just seen Kevin Olenek just do that, bro. I'm about to throw up, dude.
Away from elite
this is just
game
see, like, okay, respectfully, when it's players like Jay Crowder, Olenek, and just straight up nobody ass niggas, they should not even have that in their game. I feel like the refs should favor niggas that do that shit and not call fouls for them. But when it's players like Curry, and honestly only Curry, they should call fouls for them, bro. Let's be real. Curry just does it better. Maybe Trae Young too.
In today's league.
But Curry does it better.
Falling and you're having a rough night on offense, just pull this out of your bag and it's a surefire way to put some easy points on the board. Not only that this move is dangerous to everyone involved.
Oh man, Curry's inspirational, man.
The NBA implemented the Zaza rule, stating
Zaza?
that reckless closeouts can result in technical and flagrant fouls.
Oh, I thought I was talking about something else.
The NBA also expanded the landing zone for offensive players, virtually stripping defenses from getting good, honest contests on outside shots.
I'm like, they said a Zaza rule? Like you can smoke literally right before the game and they don't care?
These rule changes.
Shit, I'm going to the draft next month, man.
4 seasons later, the league has gone the other way and is giving more power to the defense. Elite shooters that use this forced contact to manipulate the defense now have to think twice before they throw away a good look just to draw a foul. So, I'll leave y'all with this. From the 2000-2001 NBA season to the 2004-2005 season, there were a total of 9 double-digit three-point shooting foul seasons.
Wow.
I know that's an odd way to word that, but just stay with me. That's 9 in 5 seasons, which is less than 2 players each year drawing double-digit three-point shooting fouls throughout the season.
Wow.
Last season alone, 33 players drew double-digit three-point shooting fouls. 33. Let's just all agree that this rule change has been one of the better adjustments the league has made in recent history. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
Hey man, that's just man. Coming up with FlightReacts next, man. On the 4 minute.